This is the BenQ WiT light, and it is this big old banana-shaped desk light for hobbyists and for offyists and for all sorts of different people, which is actually really cool. Now, full disclosure, this isn't a sponsored video, but BenQ did very kindly send this over to me free of charge because they thought it would fit with what I do, and hopefully I'd be able to, share my opinions with it. So I've used this now for about a month. I think I've had this, and it is a really big old robust light. Now, if it looks like I'm straining to hold it, it's because I am. The light itself, so it comes off of this base, and this base here is incredibly heavy. It is an absolute beast. Like, you could kill someone with this. The light itself is actually relatively light, and then it kind of pops onto here. First things first, this is a relatively expensive desk light, and I've never owned a really nice, expensive desk light. I've always kind of figured they're a bit pointless. I had the little, like, I don't know, telescopic, what's the word I'm looking for? I had the weird magnifying like glasses that I always use for painting, and I don't really use them anymore, but then I took the like magnifying bits off because they've got this like helmet light on the top, and I use that a lot. And then recently I got a new filming light, which is my small rig light. I really like it because you can change the amount of light it casts and everything else, but when it's top down, it has this irritating spotlight thing, so you get a lot of shadow under the model where you're painting, and then putting it over your shoulder kind of works, but again, you get this spotlight hitting the model, so you don't really get that all around like light, which is really frustrating, and it's a pain to set up. So when they offered to send this over to me, I was quite excited because, it's a nice big old light. It's apparently very, very good, and it's advertised as having obviously this banana shaped bit here. And the benefit of this is it's meant to avoid that whole spotlighting issue, so you don't get light just in one place. You get more natural light that spreads out all around, and I'll have different bits of B-roll as well for you to see that kind of in action. So after a month of using it, what are my thoughts? And first off, let's start with the things that I don't like about it. The first one is a like and a dislike, and that is the base. Now, with this bit on the bottom here, you can actually clip it into multiple things. So you can get one that clips onto the side of your desk or the back of your desk, and it basically goes down on this pin, which makes sense. It's about £20 extra, which isn't too bad, and I think that would work with the vast majority of like those little cheap ones that you can get online. So you could probably buy a much cheaper one as well if you wanted to. There's also like a standing lamp attachment as well. So if you don't have enough space on your desk, or you don't want to clip it on your desk, you can have it like stood up and just have this big old light as well. That retails for a bit more. I can't remember the exact price, but I'll throw it up on the screen now for you. Now this base, like I said, is really heavy. It's not going to move anywhere. It's got these big old rubber feet on the bottom here, so it's not going to slide. You're not going to knock it. You're not going to knock the lamp over, which is really, really good. Problem is, because it is so heavy, moving it around on your desk can kind of be a bit of a pain. But the good thing is the lamp itself actually has quite a lot of range of movement, so it's not too much of an issue. My problem is, it kind of feels like wasted space. Like this could have had something built into it. Like if it had Qi charging, for example, this is literally, like if I put my iPhone on it, like perfect size for that. Like if I had a Qi charger in there, that'd be fantastic. And you could have even maybe powered the lamp through with like USB Type-C, which is going to come on to my next complaint with this lamp. And that is the power. Oh my God, I'm getting a proper workout hefting that thing around. Now, I don't know if this is just because it's the unit that's been sent over to me, but this, this monstrosity is how you power it. So basically that's the bit that comes off of the lamp, which then clips into here, into your like 2-pin plug, which I believe is the American plug, which then plugs into this UK fused adapter as well. Now, when I plug this into an outlet, or even like a power strip, there's no room left for anything else, because even if it was this design on its own, if it came out the back, for example, this long bit here, that would have been better. But because it comes out the side, if you put it next to anything, you're losing a lot of that just space, which is annoying. And I guess in some countries you'd plug it like that into the wall and it would drop down, so that kind of makes sense. But yeah, it's annoying. It's really frustrating. It's a big old plug. I don't know if that's what all of the UK units come like, but that's what my unit came like. But they're pretty much the only two things that I dislike about it. So let's move on to the things I like about it. Now, I toyed with the idea of not having it on the desk with me right now as I film this video, because I'm going to probably play with it a lot, but I can't really demonstrate too much about it if it's not here. So first thing, it's really, really well made. Like, if Apple made a desk lamp, and I'm not a massive Apple fanboy, but I am, it'd probably be something like this. Now, it's got this beautiful braided cable, but the cable's really nice, and it kind of feels like I don't know why I like the cable, because you wouldn't normally think about it too much on a lamp, but it makes sense. It's constantly moving around, or at least it is for me, because if I'm using it when I like a backlight for my PC or my monitor lamp, moving it around, if I'm moving it to get into a better position, for example, if I want to have it over here whilst I'm painting, and then I want to angle this bit here, for example, you're constantly putting a lot of strain on this cable because it's moving, it's rubbing. And if it was just a rubber cable like you normally get in those like cheap plastic sleeves and stuff, over time that's going to wear away, it's going to break, it's going to potentially twist. But because of this lovely braided cable, I'm not too worried about that. It's really, really nice. First thing that threw me about this was turning it off. So when you plugged it in, it turned on automatically, and it's got this like little dial here, which is really nice. It's a tactile little dial, and how this works is if you click it, it changes like the temperature of the light. So you click it once, you have this really nice bright cold light, which I like using for obviously my painting and stuff. And then if you twist it, it turns that light up and down and basically cycles through the intensity of that. So when I'm painting, I put it onto like the cold light, and I put it up to like max brightness or like the max intensity, and it's a really, really nice light. It just gives me a really clean interpretation of what I'm actually painting. But if I wanted a warmer light, you click it once and you can cycle through the intensity of that as well. So it's really nice. But I was really confused, like how do you turn it off then? So I did what I don't normally do. So I went to the instructions, because there's no power button on this that I could see. But it's this, it's really overkill like power bit. And it's actually kind of funky. You just tap it and it turns on, you tap it again and it turns off. And it seems really oddly overkill and over-engineered and everything, but it doesn't like click or move or anything. And it's so nice to touch. And it's really easy as well. If I just quickly need to turn it on, you tap it and bam, it's on. You tap it and turn it off and bam, it's off again. It's odd. The only downside to that is sometimes when you're moving it, I knock it and it turns it on or off. It's not the end of the world. Now, it's got obviously this like design here, so you can basically move it over all around, you can push it and it stays. It's really sturdy. So like some lamps, and that's got myself a nice little smile. That's gonna have to be the thumbnail, isn't it? But yeah, some lights, or just anything, like if you've got a monitor arm, for example, or if you've got a camera arm that you're mounting somewhere like that, the weight of it isn't well balanced, or like the way it's tightened and stuff like that, not particularly well done, and gradually it sags. So like some lamps that I've used, like cheap ones in the past, you'll have them like that, and then gradually over time it slowly sinks down towards what you're doing and it gets in the way. This doesn't. It literally, whatever position you put it in, it stays there and it doesn't move. And there's a really good range of motion, like I mentioned at the start. So obviously you can swivel it on the bottom and take your teeth out, and you can angle it up, and you know, it goes, oh wow, look at that. Oh, I don't know why you would maybe go that far, but you can, you know, you can go absolutely mental, and you can put it back that way. And then the head obviously has that range of movement, motion as well. So you can really turn that. And then the other good thing, like I mentioned, is you can angle it as well. So you can angle it away from you, angle it towards you. So depending on what you're doing, like if I'm painting, for example, depending what I'm painting, for the vast majority of the time, I'll have it up and just like that. And then I can see everything that's happening here. I get like the full view of that model that I'm painting. But if I'm painting something and I'm trying to do some really intricate detail, I can angle it and just get it that little bit closer. And then you get that lead in. You painters out there know kind of what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't, maybe I'm doing it wrong. But then you can lean in and you've got that light really there and just illuminates everything. And because this light strip is actually relatively slim, you know, it doesn't get in the way too much. So other lamps that I've used in the past, again, like cheap lamps, tend to be like a bulbous thing, and they get in the way, and you're trying to cast it and it becomes a bit more spotlighty. So all in all, I really like the design of this. It's very, very well engineered. Like I mentioned though, it is £200. So for that price, you do expect it to be very well engineered. But it is an absolute pleasure to paint with. So I've done a couple of models with this. I haven't done a huge amount because, you know, it's the summer holidays and the Hellspawn are off school at the moment. So we're trying to juggle that. But what I found myself doing is obviously doing painting. I've done some Def Company bits. I've done some more of my Grimguard models as well. And throughout the whole thing, it's been a pleasure to use. But what surprised me more is that I have actually just used it with other things. I've never been the kind of person who understands why would you have a lamp or a light behind a screen or above the screen to illuminate that? But I've been doing that a lot more lately. And actually, it does help with eye strain. I'm meant to wear glasses and I never do. And this has helped out quite a lot with that and not getting eye fatigue and stuff, which is quite nice. And again, just in places where I don't want to turn the main lamp on because it doesn't really do much. And my office I've changed around as well. So everything's up against one wall with a big window on this side. So I get turned into Casper the Ghost on any like conference call that I have to go on. I've been using this occasionally as well just to help illuminate like the other side of my face with the warmer temperature and stuff. It just helped me a little bit more on video calls as well. So it's quite multi-purpose in that. I wouldn't recommend it as like a webcam light because there's other types of things you can get that are more compact. But if you want something that's just one thing on the desk that's also going to be good for your painting with your hobbyist, they advertise it for Kindle e-readers and stuff like that, which I guess makes sense. So if you're reading and stuff, it would make a really nice reading lamp. Again, it's a nice all-purpose thing. This will be something that I'm using permanently on the channel now because I really like it. It's beautiful. It feels really nice. It looks really nice and it's sturdy. And the best thing of all is it gives really good lighting when I'm painting. And also for my video as well. You can change, obviously, the lighting settings on this so it will match up with my cameras as well. So I can make sure that that light setting is actually synchronized. Which again, is something that I've not had on like cheap lights in the past. Or if I have, they've not been great. There's like no flicker on camera or anything like that, which again is great. So if you're in that really, really tiny niche where you're filming as well, and you're filming your painting hobby, actually this is pretty good. It works on cameras, which is a nice little bonus. So thank you so much to BenQ for sending this over to me. I'll have everything linked down below in the comments. I should probably start spinning it. I haven't broken it yet, which means it is sturdy because I've played with this far too much. But it's a very nice lamp. If you're looking for something that, like I said, it is premium, so you've got to bear that in mind. But if you're going to get a good lamp, you're going to be spending money anyway. So it's definitely worthwhile having a look at. Certainly beats up using my small rig that I was using for my camera lamp and trying to double it up as a desk lamp as well. So thank you so much for sending this over. Let me know, have you got this as well? What lamps do you personally use in your hobby time as well? Because it would be quite nice as well, I guess, to do a comparison for, I guess, your really budget painting lamp versus your mid-budget versus something like this, which is more premium as well, just to give people a better range. But this is it. This is the BenQ WiT desk lamp, which is a really odd naming convention, but there it is. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you, hopefully, in the next one, if I don't drop this on myself. Ta-ra for now. Bye.